The Eric McKenna Project was formed in March of 2019 by Pittsburgher Eric McKenna. The project is free-form and unscripted, with discussions that are unvarnished and purely authentic. Additionally, each engagement is professionally filmed and recorded at Eric's Boogie Street studio, located in Moon Township, Pennsylvania. Guests are by invitation only and come from all walks of life. Discussion topics include business and entrepreneurship, science, art, music and film, comedy, and other entertainment disciplines. Eric's biography includes Pittsburgh Realty agent, radio broadcaster, speaker, and guitarist. Additionally, Eric is the founder of Boogie Street Guitars, a guitar design and marketing firm which has worked with most notably Dimebag Darrell and Kiss legend Paul Stanley. Since 2023, the Eric McKenna Project podcast is exclusively presented by the Cozza Law Group, Pittsburgh's premier business attorneys.
How are you, man?
Good, man. Good. It's been a week. It's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. Only Tuesday.
That phrase that you hear, a man must know his limitations.
Okay.
Let's dive into that a little bit today, because that seems to me to rub up against a growth mindset.
Sure.
The idea of determination and being undefeatable.
Okay.
And things like that. So where does the balance come in?
That's a good question. So when you talk about like a man must know his limitations, I think there are. Look, I'm obviously a growth-minded person. I believe that whatever we put our mind to, we can achieve. However, there are certain limitations we have, right? Like I'm not going to be an Olympic sprinter or an Olympic swimmer. So I can't just, will my way into becoming an Olympic swimmer, right? I think we need to know what we're built for. Like what, truly like what we're supposed to be doing with our lives, or the path we're supposed to take. And then once you know that, there is no limitation on it. But obviously I wasn't meant to be any of those things. I wasn't meant to be an NBA basketball player, right? I was meant to be an entrepreneur and a business owner. So I don't believe in what I'm doing now there's any limitation. My only limitation is my mind. There are, I believe, limitations in what we can do physically, right? Mm-hmm. And in certain aspects of life, just because we're not meant to do that. Do you know what I mean? We have to know what we're meant to do. And then once you figure out that path somewhat, that's where I believe all the limitations can go away. And then we only limit ourselves.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you right, you're saying that, especially for the younger people in society, it's like find out what you enjoy and what your skill set is, what your natural, how do you say that? How you're naturally wired.
Yeah, your natural, your God-given traits.
Like find your lane almost.
Yeah, find your lane,
and
exactly.
Make that like an undefeatable
because you want to encourage kids to always believe they can do anything. But I think as parents, right, if I'm looking at it from a parenting perspective, I still have to be able to tell my kids there are certain things that probably is not the best path, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's just certain things that you're
Johnny, you're not going to be a rapper.
Right. Like there's certain things and they may want to, but like, there are just certain things kids are meant to do and not meant to do. And as parents, we have to learn, or we have to encourage our kids to truly try everything, but also be guides for our kids to let them know you're off course. Like that's probably not the right path.
Part of our job is would you not agree, is to down and try to recognize their aptitude.
Yeah, and regulate. Like we have to self-regulate, right? Like we have to self-regulate.
Says every baseball father out there.
Right. I mean, I was there. But think about it. Like if I just went out into the world after college and just said I'm going to do all this stuff, right? You gotta self-regulate. You gotta know what you can and can't do by how you're made.
Okay.
That's what I believe. I believe once you know your path and you know kind of the skills you were given and you figure out what those can be used for, then your only limitation is yourself.
Got it.
But like I said, there are just limitations I have that I just can't get past them. I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think it's such a balance too. And again, for young parents, it's always a real slippery slope because you don't know any better. And of course, my kid can do anything. Oh, sure, when you're looking at them and they're 4,
right?
Yeah, in your head, you don't because you don't know what their aptitudes are yet.
Yes, and I remember like when Gabe was growing up, just watching some kids play sports. And not to say anything bad about kids, but there were some kids, I'm like, their parents probably should have thought before they signed them up for this, because now it becomes dangerous. Because they're not coordinated. They weren't given the gift of coordination. They weren't given the gift of athletic ability. And now they're on a team with kids that have those abilities. And it now becomes almost a dangerous situation. So where's the balance there, right? As a parent, we have to learn to self-regulate or regulate that to say, should I allow my kid to try something because they want to, even though I know it's potentially dangerous for them? Because they're not coordinated, they don't have any of the skill set, they don't have the eyesight, the thought process, the maturity to be on a field with some of these kids. And
sometimes they might not even have a desire. It could just be parental's desire.
Yeah, and that's also true. But it is like I do believe that once we know our lane, there are no limitations. We only limit ourselves by what we think we can and can't do.
I would agree.
In our lane. In our lane. In our lane. Yes. But and you may have multiple lanes, right? But there's definitely going to be lanes that are not yours. Those on-ramps are closed. And you just need to identify what those on-ramps that are closed are and just say, okay, I'm not going to go down that path.
When you were young, what was one of the things that you wanted to do so badly and it was pretty obvious it wasn't going to happen?
I mean, at one point I wanted to be like an Air Force pilot, and then people told me you'd have 20/20 vision. I'm like, well, I'm fucked. That's not going to happen. Honestly, as a kid, like every kid wants to be an athlete, right? You want to be a pro baseball player. Right. So there was part of me at that point in time. But it's like, okay, like I was good. I wasn't great. And I didn't, I probably didn't work as hard as I could have. Looking back, like, I could have put in a lot more reps outside of practice and things like that. But there wasn't, like, I think as a kid too, like, I didn't really know what I wanted to be. Like, I had entrepreneurial tendencies. Like, we would sell baseball cards. I would do all that stuff as a kid. So I felt like I was always going to be in some sort of business.
There's tells.
But there wasn't anything. Like, I was a smart kid. I was in the gifted program. So I was always the smart kid. Like, that's what I was. Like, I was just, it's funny. My mom was talking about this weekend. I completely forgot. She said when I was in junior high, I hated going to the gifted program because I hated being labeled the smart kid.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that, but that's what she said. I kind of remembered it.
I get it.
But it was like, that's what I always was. So I didn't really know what
we used to call that
was.
The GATE program.
Yeah,
did you have GATE?
It was called. It was the same thing. It was called the gifted program. Yeah.
Not that I was in it because I wasn't.
Yeah, and it was. I remember getting bused to a different school and like going into these rooms. It was just like doing all these like. I felt like they were like weird experiments. And it's funny because I saw all these videos like on TikTok where they're talking about how the GATE program. There's these theories out there that it was like CIA, like, but they were like saying like a lot of people have these memories of shit that happened in their life, and I'm like, some of the stuff they were saying, like, I kind of remember that happening, like these different things we did, and this like pink drink we had, and like this weird shit. I remember. I
Coming to the Eric McKenna Project.
I'll tell you a couple stories.
Our
off
latest
camera.
Conspiracy.
Well, no, I'll tell you a couple stories off camera that I heard one. I'm like, that happened to me. That blew my mind. It was wild, but so I didn't really know. I think I wanted to be an Air Force pilot when I watched Top Gun as a kid. I'm like, that'd be fucking awesome. And then from there, it was like baseball, but I didn't really know until I got into high school, and then I was like, I think I'm going to be a lawyer.
In high school,
because I went to W&J because they were good pre-law school, and then I got there and majored in psychology. So it was
in high school. You knew.
I mean, I did because I knew I was logical and I liked to argue, and I liked to solve problems.
And you like to win.
Yeah, I mean that was also true. Yes, but I think that was so I just gravitated. I had no lawyers in my family. I knew no lawyers other than what I saw on TV and what I knew about lawyers just from reading. I'm like, that makes sense. That's kind of where I see myself. Then I went to college, ended up going psychology, and still ended up being a lawyer.
What kind of advice would you give to a young person? Let's just say they're getting a general communications degree because they don't feel compelled for any specialized skill or specialized interest.
Okay.
Like, how do they begin the process to find not find themselves, but I guess to a slight degree you can use that term, but really find where their lane is going to be.
Don't go to college and spend the money on a communications degree to start. Like, I believe at this point in time, and I think I even said this to Gabe when he was going, unless you're going to school for something specific that you absolutely need the degree for,
okay,
like, you don't need it. Like, you so much education you can learn just by starting your own business online for free, right? If you're going to go to school because you want to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, accountant, where you need a degree for those licenses, okay, makes sense. General business communications,
commerce,
just go and do things. Like, we have the internet, we have social media. You can literally, if someone truly was desperate to make money, you can find a way to make $1,000 by tomorrow on the internet.
Udemy.
Yeah, easily you could do it. Upwork, Fiverr. There's a million different ways. Just try things. Like, what do you like to do? Like, start there. Like, what do you like to do? Like, if you have a hobby, okay, and say it's playing video games, what do you like about video games? Why do you like playing them? Is it a different reality? Is it the skill of it? Is it the winning? Like, figure out why you like the things you like. Start there. That's how you start to figure out. Like, I knew that I liked to debate and argue.
Yeah.
And that just turned into the law, right? That's a skill needed to be a lawyer. Now I'm an entrepreneur where lawyer is my profession, right? But that ability to solve problems translates into entrepreneurship, because all being an entrepreneur is solving problems that people have and they'll pay you to solve.
That's exactly right.
That's all it is. But so I had to figure out, like, the things I like to do, like playing with Legos. Like it was all problem solving. It was all creating things. Like, if I look back at my childhood, the stuff I did, it was always like creating things or fixing things or like solving problems. Create like worlds,
like puzzles
with, like,
when you were a kid?
Yeah, jigsaw puzzle. I was Legos. Like, my grandmother and I would just build Legos. Like, as a kid, like, I would just build stuff. Like, that's what I loved. Then as I got older, we would pretend to like start businesses. Like, we would pretend like do shit like that. Then we started selling baseball cards on the street. And so it was always around. If I look back, that's how I ended up where I am. I had those tendencies as a kid.
Let's key on that for a second.
Okay.
So your desire to build, to create, create's probably the beginning of it, right? To create, whether it's an idea, whether it's something that you've learned, whatever the skill set is, but then to build, that's different. To build something.
Okay.
Is it all game? Is it just a big game? And I don't mean it derogatory, the word game. I mean, do you view life as being one big puzzle?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that oversimplified or not?
No, I think it is. If you look at life, zoom out of life, look at it objectively. It is a big puzzle.
Most people don't do that.
Because you're in it. You're in the frame.
Right.
Take yourself out of the frame, like I do with entrepreneurs. Like, take yourself out of the frame and look at it. It is a big game. It is a big game. We keep score certain ways. There are certain moves we have to make. There are certain things that can set us back a few steps. There are things that can advance. If you look at life, you can equate it to like a Monopoly board or a game of life board.
1,000,000%.
Because there are certain things that happen that, yes, we can jump
My life's
ahead.
been one table board of risk.
Right. But think about it. When you look at life objectively, it is a big game. And if you can do that and you learn to gamify your life, then it makes things a lot easier. Like, that's what I love about like habit trackers and things like that. It's like I gamify things. So there are certain things I do every day, right? But I have a habit tracking app, so I keep the streak alive. It gamifies life.
1,000,000%.
It just makes it easier.
Such a Why don't you repeat that? Because that is such a valuable. That's a lesson. That's a life lesson.
Yeah. If there is a habit you want to create, or a discipline, and you find yourself having a hard time doing it, gamify it.
1,000,000%.
Keep score, keep track. Like the Seinfeld example. Like, the Seinfeld example, like he wrote a joke every single day because he couldn't break the streak.
Yep.
He wrote an X on his calendar
Yep.
and he never broke the streak.
Yep.
So he gamified his life back then in the 80s, right? Now we have apps. So I have an app that I log into every day that tracks the 6 things I do every morning. And I will not let that streak break.
Yeah. And again, it becomes a game.
Yeah.
It's like just exercise for me. It's like if I don't hit these metrics this day, in my unique metrics, I'm upset with myself. Mm-hmm. I fucked up my streak.
Yeah. Yep.
And now I got to start again tomorrow and start all over again for this numerical metric I was trying to hit. 50 straight days of this amount of activity.
Yeah.
And you're on day 46, and all of a sudden, day 47, you slack off willingly.
Yeah.
And that regret is so deep, but it's so healthy.
Oh, listen, dude. I mean, the one brain game I play, I mean, I want to say my streak's at like 1,200 days.
Oh.
Like, there's times
where it's still going now?
Still going. Yeah, still going, man. Still
going. Is it luminosity?
No, it's called Peak. Peak. So I used to do luminosity years ago, but I like Peak better.
That's too easy.
It's just they didn't make changes enough to it. But I like this one. I think it's like 1,200 days.
How long does it take per day to do it?
It takes. I actually measured it last month. Anywhere between, depending on the games that come up that day, anywhere between 9 and 14 minutes. I do it on the treadmill in the morning.
Worth it, yeah.
That's literally
multitasking.
Yeah, that's literally. I mean that, but that's part of my routine: brain game, exercise, reading, journaling, meditating. Every morning, boom, 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 boom. And that's the key. And that's, you gamify it. And there's so many ways to do it, right? Like, I'm actually going to try a new one. I was watching a video the other day because I like paper and pen. Mm-hmm. And I saw this YouTube video. This guy used this grid notebook, like, you know, the ones that have like the dots on, like the grids, to turn it into like a habit tracker, but in paper and pen. And he went every month. He just puts the numbers down the one side. He puts his habits and he just makes boxes and he just checks them off. To me, like, that I will like even more because I'm actually physically creating it. That goes to the creation. That
you even created the grid system.
I created the system that I'm tracking. So now I own the system, and now I'm tracking within the system.
And there's something to that.
Yeah, exactly. Because going on an app is cool, but it's like I can get bored of an app. I've switched habit tracking apps like
I know.
once or twice a year.
I've done it too.
But if I'm creating something, now that's mine. It's my journal. So that's
and that book, when you see it staring on your desk, that notebook is it's an asset.
Yeah, it just came in yesterday. I'm going to do it this weekend. Put it together.
Yeah, it does. I look at those worn notebooks as like an asset.
Yeah, I mean, I have all my journals. Like, I look at those like it cringes sometimes to go back and read some of them. I'm like, what was I thinking? You know, your brain is like,
beauty of it.
Well, I know, but you learn about who you are. Like, that's the power of that's the other power of journaling that I don't think people get. Like, you learn about who you were and how you became who you are. If you look back and read what you wrote, just your thought process, like where I was 5 years ago to now, I'm a completely different person. Mm-hmm. The way I write, the way I think, what I even thought about, completely different. Mm-hmm. It's wild. It's wild to me.
It's wild.
Yeah.
As you know, I at the end of the year, I spend the time between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
Religiously reading the whole year again.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a slog, and sometimes it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Here's a benefit, though. A benefit for me is I've been able to do something in recent years I haven't been able to do prior, and that was like give myself grace and give myself some self-forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because reading that year, even in a period of 12 months, you see changes.
Oh, yeah.
And you realize, no, I'm not that person I was 8 months ago in this way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I can't grade and be so harsh on myself for how I felt because my worldview was different then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just looking back at even probably the past year of my life, like how different
it could change quickly.
Like extremely fast. Like I've become, you know, I've always been a spiritual person. I think I've become way more, just things that have happened in my life just become way more spiritual to the point where this Sunday morning I woke up. I don't go to church that often, right? I haven't been to church in a long time. I was just compelled. I went up the street and just went to church by myself. Just literally, I was compelled to do something. Compelled me to do it. Mm-hmm. But it's because I've been in touch with that side of me by journaling. It's
1,000,000%.
I woke up, went to the gym, and I just said, I don't know what it was. Just something came over me and it compelled me. And I went up the street to the church and I went to 10 o'clock mass, just sat there by myself and just was completely engaged in it. And that was it. And it was interesting. It was like journaling about that. Like, what brought me to that? Like, how did I get there? Because at the beginning of the year, you told me that, like,
You were
would never even
compelled.
thought about it.
Yeah,
and then for some reason, I just got in the car and drove there. And it's just
sometimes finding out why is a more fascinating. That self-examination is more fascinating than anything you'll read that day.
Yeah, yeah, and, and I thought through it. And I'm like, I think it was that I'm kind of at this like transition place in my life where I'm moving into this different role, like not changing jobs or anything, but like just taking on this different role with clients and like building out this advisory, and it's a different level of responsibility. And it's like I there was something I felt that was missing inside, like something that I wasn't connected with, and something compelled me to go. And it's almost like I needed that to feel like, yeah, this is the path.
Do you feel that now that you're expanding your role, do you feel that you're going to be looking at people, clients, often friends, in a different way? Do you think, in terms of understanding and examining other people? So, I mean, in a healthy way. I don't mean critically, but in a healthy way. Is the skill set going to change or evolve?
No, so I think the skill set's already there, and I already do this. It's just now I'm actually going to be able to articulate it. In the way that the client needs to hear it. Because as a lawyer, right, I'm always looking at the deeper issues, the deeper human side of things. I'm just not actually giving them the advice on that, because that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for the legal solution.
Right.
Here, they're looking for the bigger picture solution.
Correct.
So now the stuff I'm already looking at, already noticing with a lot of these clients, the first time I talk to them, I know the issue because I've already spotted it 6 months ago.
Right.
But it's just, I wasn't charged with articulating it. And even if I did articulate it, they weren't ready to hear it.
Correct.
When they're ready to hear it.
Case?
That is. But now it's like, it's just what I've always done.
Well, they've come seeking it now.
Yes.
Because they understand the services in general and what's coming to the table, and they've seen a need. Yeah. So they're more receptive to it.
Yeah, it's like I've been through the fire.
Right.
I've walked with clients through fires. Like I see the fire you're in right now.
Right.
I'm going to get you the path out of the fire, but you just got to trust me.
Right.
You got to trust me and follow me, and it's not going to be easy. And I'm going to say stuff you probably don't want to hear, but it's the stuff that matters because it's that I truly care.
Like, how much of the ego's got to be set aside for that?
All of it has to be. All of it. Because I had to set my own ego aside first before I could even go into this. Right? Like I had to go through my own journey of discovery and transformation and understanding all the things I missed to be able to even help clients. Like I could do it, but I feel like I had to, this whole past if I look back, these past 2 years have truly been the preparation for this next phase, because everything that could have possibly happened, I went through. And I learned.
You sure
so
seem
much.
that way.
Yeah, I mean, you saw me every week, so you saw. But it's like I had to go through that to truly for God to tell me I was ready.
Right.
And that's the test I had to go through, and I had to pass, and I had to, did I F up a lot? Of course I did. But did I make it through on the other side in a better position? Absolutely. And now I know what I can help clients with. I know, and it's because I care and I want to help people through the fire.
Well, it was funny because I went back and looked at our second or third show together with, I think it was, believe it or not, I think it was the third show, I think was at the start of the pandemic.
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, we were joking around a lot of the insanity of it all, but I did ask you a question in that show, and I basically asked you, because you like I thought you were really great at the human experience thing, and I called it counseling.
Yeah.
I said, did you ever see yourself, whether it's in a business or in a more personal role, do you ever see yourself going beyond legal?
Yeah. Interesting.
And looking at the counseling part, maybe business counseling. Yeah. And you said, at the time, you said, I would love to do that, but I've got so much on my plate right now. And right now I'm trying to figure out how to move this business idea I have through this current environment, which was the pandemic. But I could feel in our conversations, there must have been something I was feeling that your role should be expanded.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, that's why I have a psychology degree. Maybe it's I've always just been able to connect with people.
And you felt compelled to write that book, which quite frankly
Yeah.
I thought was great because it wasn't a book by an attorney.
Yeah, no.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right. Like looking back, yeah, I mean, there probably was a lot of stuff along the way.
Why did you feel compelled to do that?
Yeah, it was me. That book was me giving advice to my 25-year-old self.
Right.
That's really what it was.
Right.
It was like anyone else that's 25 out there, read this book. It'll help you. Because I wish I would have known this at 25.
Exactly.
Like that's really what it was. It was truly. It was not for anything but if it helped one person. You know, when my son's 25, he just turned 24. When he turns 25, like read this. I mean, you can read it now, but I think for some reason I think 25 is kind of that age.
I would agree.
Where you're ready to transform. Like you're still young now. He's still young. He's still going through that. But I think at 25 is when you kind of, as a guy, that's one of your first transformations. 35 is the big one, I think, for men.
I think 35 is a huge one.
35, but you got to be willing to face it. Like you're up against it at 35. I remember at 35, I was like up against it. I was like, fuck.
I think a lot of men generally are around that time frame.
Yeah, the mid 30s.
Yeah, because at some point in time, many have decided to get married.
Yeah,
whether it was in their 20s or maybe in their early 30s. Yeah. And life's just looking a lot different. And a lot of people probably really enjoyed their 20s. I was one of them. Lived carelessly, tons of fun. Yeah. But once you hit that 30 spot, and then by the time 35 comes around, you're deep in it.
You're deep in it. I remember 35. It was just like, oh, that was one of those times where it's just like you're deep in it. That's really the only way to put it. I mean, that's the only way to put it. Like you're in the thick of it, and that's where you got to start making choices. Mm-hmm. And that's when I stopped caring about a lot of things. I started understanding what really mattered to me, what I wanted to create, what I wanted my legacy to look like. Mm-hmm. And then you start putting plans in place. And 40 was the time where I'm just like, fuck it, I'm doing it. And I just said, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
But it's 30 for that, the mid 30s. And a lot of my friends that have went through the same, we all talk about this. It's the same thing. It's that, and it's like probably 34 to 36, like that mid 30s as a guy. It just goes through this weird time. It's like we think we should be farther along than we are. When we look back, we were pretty far.
Yes.
But and when we're in it, we're like we're nowhere near where we should be.
Do you think because elements of materialism often kind of are still grabbing us?
Yeah, I think 100%. Like I think in your mid 30s, you're still looking at got to have the big house, the cars, like the
we're using them as markers.
Yeah, those were my markers.
Yeah.
Now I look at life completely differently.
Absolutely.
And even if I look back at my journals, right? If I look back at my journals from my mid 30s, it was all about like I want to achieve this, I want to have this goal, I want to have this goal, this. I look at my journals the past 5 years, it's more like theoretical, philosophical,
100%.
Like therapy basically to myself, where back then it was more of like, I'm going to build this law firm. I'm going to do this. I want to create this. I want to have these businesses. Yeah, it was very procedural. And it was markers. Like, here's the score I'm keeping. Like, okay, I've accomplished this. Okay. Yeah. But now it's like completely shifted.
Like mine are sometimes written in a way of like, I'm trying to prove something to somebody, which I should have been proving it to myself.
Right.
But the way I wrote was, I was justifying my achievements to some fictitious person who would never read this.
Right.
But that's how I wrote some of this stuff.
Listen.
Especially when I started the guitar business. It was crazy. Like, we did this. And I'm like, but I mean.
If I could go back, honestly, if I could go back and sit down with my 35-year-old self across the table from him, I would say, dude, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. It'll all be okay. Just keep moving forward.
That's the big one.
That's it. It was just because I kept getting caught up in, the image of things. Like what people, I'm a lawyer. I'm a corporate lawyer. Like I should be this. I was general counsel of this company, and that's like, I should have this status. And but it wasn't who I was. It was this like identity crisis, and you're in it, and you're just like, what is going? Like, why am I feeling this way? I don't feel like myself. And I can just go back and say, dude, just be you.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about impressing anybody. Be who you want to be, whatever that is. Like, I knew who I wanted to be at that point in time, but I felt like I had to be everything to everybody, right? You got to please this person. I had bosses at work. I had, kids. I had all these different things.
Yeah.
Yet I knew what I wanted to do, but I was preventing myself. So I was trying to please everybody. So I thought that's what I had to do. I had to be everything to everybody. And I just said, if I could go back, I would say, in the end, it'll all be okay. And just keep moving forward.
And that's
good days and bad
advice
days.
a lot of adults always gave me. My parents, the elderly, the elders always gave you the advice. Don't worry, it's good. This too will pass.
Yeah, it's true.
But you can't really grab that when you're in it.
No,
you're
you
younger,
can't.
and you're younger. You just can't. Now, no matter what comes my way, it's almost like I know in the end it's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and enjoy the moments. Like, look at the future, but be present.
Oh man,
like that's something.
I mean, it's like when I look back at my journals, it's no joke. One of the biggest regrets. I mean, that's a heavy word, but if I was going to say a regret, I didn't get legal advice. I didn't know a Rocco, and if I didn't seek out a Rocco in the years that I was in it.
Yeah.
And, no one to blame but myself, but I think my influence of that was, I grew up in a household where, you attorneys were like bad news.
I know, right?
Because the money.
Shitheads,
it was the idea that attorneys weren't for people
money
like us.
bloodsuckers, man.
My point, though, is when I look back on all of that now, there were some procedural things I would have done differently, but the big one is I would have taken a couple breaths and enjoyed working with, my rock star childhood heroes, or like going and creating these things and spending that extra time on the phone with customers when they're telling me how much they love our guitars, and just really, because I think I shortchanged others, but certainly shortchanged myself of some joy that I earned, that I feel that I earned, probably didn't take it in.
Oh, I mean, I'm the same way. When I was in corporate, I got to travel the world and got to see cool places. But did I ever really? Because I was always thinking of being somewhere else. I was in Jerusalem.
Is that the folly of youth?
Yeah, it is. I think it's the folly of a man. Like, I think, especially when we have responsibilities, I think it is a folly, and it's like, we don't always enjoy where we are because we're thinking about where we need to be. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, okay, like, we need to be here. And it's funny, like, we did that podcast in the office, and we did one a couple weeks ago. One of our clients, and Matt brought up an interesting point. He was asking about like fatherhood. He's like, because his kids are little. He's like, is this the best time? And both myself and Chaz, who's on, we both said, like, every stage is the best stage because it's all different. But it's funny because, like, he came in the office and he brought his two, Will and Olivia, and they were so little. I was playing catch with Will, and it's just like, I remember those days, like, with Gabe, and it was bringing back those memories of, like, just Gabe. But it's like, but then I looked over and I'm like, he's here. So it's like every stage is the best stage.
That's such great advice.
You just gotta enjoy it. And like, I remember him posing that question, and it was like, it made me think, because it's like, like I playing with Will today was awesome. Like, I loved it. It was so cool because I remember Gabe and the girls that little, and it brought back those memories. Then I looked over like 10 minutes later, and I'm like, my son's right here, like, in the office.
It's the same person. It's just different experiences.
It's just different experiences. It's just like, just enjoy it all while you can, because it does go fast. Like, it does go fast, and it's just interesting how life works, right? Like, when you look back, and like, there's so much advice I would give myself going back, but then I tell myself, but I wouldn't be where I am if I would have changed anything.
No, and that's the underpinning, I think, of it all for me, is that realization that none of this, me sitting here with you right now, would not have happened had things gone differently.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I think our life all plays out the way it's supposed to if we just listen and let it and not resist it. And I've been known to resist things in my life.
That's a folly of youth. I mean, come on.
I mean, we think we know everything.
And we can change everything.
Oh, yes. I mean, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I thought I knew 100 times more than I know now.
You don't say.
Like, I'm 48 now. I'm like, I don't know shit. Like, I know what I know, but there's so much more what I don't know. And it's just an interesting, when you become introspective and, like, look at things, differently. you start looking at your youth and being like, man, was I an idiot? Like, did I do dumb shit? Did I think like an idiot? But again, you have to do that, though. That's the part of youth. That's what makes youth.
I think you have to give yourself some grace and say, it was an idiotic thing that I did here or there. But you know what? Based upon my limited knowledge at that time, in that time frame, you know, it probably still was a stupid thing, but I did it. But I did it anyways. Because I don't think at that time you not only can't you see the bigger picture, but you also don't really understand the idea of consequences.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
The big picture of consequences.
No. Look, that's probably the other thing I would tell. If I would go back and give myself advice, that's the other thing I would tell myself. Like, understand every choice has a consequence. Doesn't mean it's a bad consequence. It just has a consequence. If I choose to stay up late one night, I'm going to be tired tomorrow. Being tired tomorrow could cause me to miss something. Like, just like little, like thinking at that granular of a level, because every decision matters, right? Me drinking this energy drink right now that has a little bit of caffeine in it, like I know my body well enough that I'll still fall asleep, and I normally do. But, you know, if I didn't drink this right now, I'd be maybe more tired and not as energetic on this podcast right now. So I know that my choices, I may fall asleep a half hour later tonight. Yeah. But I made the choice to have more energy as we're here.
It's Tuesday.
Right. Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to look at like that, like everything we do, every choice we make. Like, if I choose not to work out tomorrow morning, I'm going to feel like shit the rest of the day.
Right.
Because that's just a habit I have that starts my day. And if I miss it, I know how I feel. Now, if I miss it for a good reason, that means I chose something that's more important over this. I placed more importance on something.
Yeah. The critical examination of choices becomes wiser as we get older. I believe that. I
agree.
I think that's almost universal. And if it's not happening to you, then something's wrong with you.
The older you get, the more
the wiser the choice.
Yeah, the wiser the choice, because you have more reps. You have more reps to make. It's purely just repetitions. You've made more choices in your life, right?
You got your head beaten in so many times.
Yeah, like at 24, like when I had Gabe, like I was like, I think I'm gonna put on a diaper, but I don't fucking have any idea. Like now, I put on enough diapers in my life, I could probably put on a diaper blindfolded.
Yeah, until the time goes when you have your first grandchild and you're gonna forget, and you're like, I thought I knew how to do this.
Well, I assume that'll be Gabe having the first kid.
It comes back.
Like,
probably.
And that was
hand them over.
It was also funny today because when I was in the office and Matt's son Will was there and we were playing catch and he was standing there and he started making this face. I remember Gabe making the face. I'm asking him, I said, "Are you pooping?" He's like, "Uh-huh." And I'm like, it was just, but it brought back that memory of like, I remember just Gabe would make that face where it's just like, and I'm like, "Are you pooping, dude?" And he's like, and like, and Matt's son, he just said he didn't grunt, but he just looked at me and he just shook his head. He knew what I was asking, and I'm like, "I think he's taking a dump, dude." Like,
here you go, Dad.
I mean, but he just, but then he was just running around. He was fine. But choices, like, I mean, I think our choices do get wiser as we get older. And we still make bad choices. I mean, we're human, right? Error is human. But I think we have a lot more knowledge and experience to inform our choices. That's what I think age gives us, right? It gives us more experience and knowledge to inform the choices we make.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so.
I would hope so. If it doesn't, then you're just not paying attention to life.
True.
True.
If you had to sum up one of the best lessons you've ever learned, going back and reading your prior journals, something that came out of the reading of those prior moments in your life.
Yeah.
What was the heaviest lesson you learned?
Wow, that's a big one. The heaviest lesson.
I'll go first. I'll give you some time to think about it.
Yeah. Please.
For me, it's pretty obvious that I did not appreciate the people in my life enough.
Ooh, okay.
Especially my parents, my grandparents, because I dismissed so much that I heard when I was young because I was just a rockhead teenager and going into my 20s. And I would write about this stuff. I would write about, my father said these things, my mother's on me because of this, or my grandmother keeps talking about this and she's driving me crazy, and I can't, I want to get this particular car, and I now I won't be able to take the car with my grandmother's because I'm going to hear all this aggravation, yada, 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 all this stuff. And in the end, they were just about right almost all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely heavy. I would say for me, if I look back at my journals, I was my own worst enemy.
What way?
Just in preventing myself from going as far as I could in the moment. The self-doubt I had, and just the questioning of myself, I think prevented me from going a lot farther, a lot faster. Like I'm still on the path, but I think there were a lot of times where I was questioning things I was doing, and I would almost slow down and pause for a second. When looking back, I should have just charged, right? Like my mentality is to just run through the wall. Yeah. But there were moments where I was stopping myself because self-doubt was getting the best of me.
Okay. Are you saying that you should have gone into the entrepreneurial journey earlier?
Yes, a lot earlier. A lot earlier, because I was like half in, half out. I always had a hedge because I was still in corporate America. I had these other businesses, and I was using it as my hedge. Like, this was my safety net. And I knew I was built for, to jump off the bridge. Yeah. But I had a lot of self-doubt. Like a lot of, like, if I look back, there was a lot of self-doubt. I mean, we all have imposter syndrome. I still have it to this day. I've just learned to recognize it and deal with it. But if I look back at my journals, it was truly those moments of self-doubt that prevented me from taking the leap sooner. Because then once I took the leap, I was like, well, here now. I had to figure it out.
I would never have thought that of you.
Yeah.
Like the Rocco that I know, that's a hell of an admission. I would have never thought of that.
I'm not going to bullshit people. I mean,
I know, but I mean, I don't.
Me.
That's,
Because think about it, like I was a smart kid growing up, right? So I was told I was a smart kid, but I came from basic middle class town. Like, I didn't really know what success meant. I just knew it was okay. You have a nice house, nice car. Sure. You have some money in the bank. You're successful. So I'm like, okay, I got there in corporate America. Is this it for me? Like, is this success? Like, am I even qualified to do any more than this? You know what I mean? Because you think you reach this level of success, which you were kind of told as a kid, this is, successful people, they drive the nice cars, they have a nice house. Okay,
those are the markers.
Well, I'm here. Is this it for me? So I'm like, maybe this is it. And I had this doubt, like, why, this is safe. I should just stay. Like, I'm not cut out for this. Like, why, there was just a lot of self-doubt I had. I don't know where it came from.
Do you think people are uniformly, do you think that people, especially entrepreneurs, are uniformly susceptible to that, regardless of what income bracket they were raised in?
Yeah. I think, just talking to people in my circle, I think most successful entrepreneurs have more self-doubt than anyone. Like, I think it was Alex Hormozy he said, like, that, I don't know if there was some study, but he said, like, the 3 characteristics of successful entrepreneurs is they don't think they're good enough. They don't think they're good enough. Yet, on the other hand, they think they're meant for something great. So they have these diabolically opposed views, and they have laser focus. I think I'm probably paraphrasing, but it was those 3 things. They did a study. I think it was a study. They said successful entrepreneurs exhibit 3 traits. One is they think they're meant for something, like they're meant for something, but they also have this, I'm not good enough, and they have laser focus. So the fact that they think they're meant for something and they have focus and they don't think they're good enough pushes them harder because they're trying to prove they are good enough. I'm like, that's fucking deep, and it's true. Like, there are many different. Like, I'm not.
It feels like it's self-perpetuating there.
Yeah, it's like I never want to get to the point where I think I've arrived. Yeah. Because I'll lose my edge.
That's a flawed line. That's a flawed mindset for sure.
You lose your edge, and I think, do I think I deserve to be where I am? No. But will I keep pushing? Absolutely.
Last question.
Yeah.
This is how I've always felt, and I've written about it a lot, journal-wise. I haven't written about it publicly ever, but I look back at all the iconic moments in my life where things happened whether I felt that I contributed to or it just happened
Yeah.
for me. And I look back at that, and it really made it clear to me that in those instances, I was focusing on the outcome in my head, almost to an obsession. Like I feel like I willed it to happen. I moved in that direction, whether consciously or subconsciously, because I was so keyed in my thoughts of attaining or succeeding in this fashion. The guitar business was like I couldn't eat or sleep. I was so enthused that I can actually freaking do this.
Yeah.
And I moved toward it.
Okay.
Whether it was dating a certain woman or whether it was, I mean, even my wife now, Natalie, like when I first met her, like I said, this is, but in so many other instances, Rocco, it was like I was able to, and there's no voodoo here. It's just that wherever I seem to really put a lot of focus, even subliminally, like not even even subconsciously, when I look back, where I was obsessing on, I eventually moved in that direction, even when I didn't feel like I was.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I mean, and maybe that's just me, but that's just, when I look at my life, that was kind of how it happened.
But think about it. It's where you put your focus is where your energy goes. Like, think about that. Whatever you're focused on is where you're going to put your energy, right? You are so focused on the guitar business. So that's where your energy was going to go. I was so focused on building a law firm. That's where my energy went. Like, once I got rid of all the other businesses I was involved in, that's when the law firm took off. Because I was solely focused, laser focused on that. Yeah. But until I did that, it wasn't growing at the rate it is now. Because
have you like visualized succeeding at things?
Yeah.
Almost like you're already there.
Yeah. I'm a big proponent of visualization. Yeah. I mean, you have to, that's part of meditation. That's part of my meditation. Like, I would try and visualize things that just where I see myself and just get, really in tune with that. And I think it's a very important thing to do because your mind has to see it to believe it. If you can't see it in your brain, you're not going to believe it. But you've got to be able to see yourself in that position. And then your mind starts believing it. And then then your actions follow.
Have you ever had a moment where something that you were obsessing on actually happens and it's not exactly like you thought about it, but it was like very close?
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened.
Even the aesthetics of your surroundings.
Yeah, that's happened quite a few times in my life. Where, I think that's the way the world works. Sometimes, we put ourselves into when you have that focus in that the technique of visualization, you almost create the reality. You know what I mean? Or your brain focuses on finding that reality.
That's it.
That's what it is.
I think that's it.
I mean, just think about the red car effect, right? You never see a red car till you buy a red sports car, and all you see is red sports cars.
Amen.
Because that's what you're looking for now. Like before I bought my car, I never saw anywhere near me where I live a blacked out Range Rover. The moment I bought that car, within the next 3 weeks, I saw 3 other ones. I'm like, where did all these cars? Like, I've never seen this model Range Rover.
What do they call it? The proximity effect?
Yeah, I think it's latency effect. I think I'm probably fucking it up, but there is an effect. It's now because you're focused on it, right? That's true. That's truly how your mind works.
Yeah.
Whatever you put your focus on is what you start looking for.
Yeah.
So if you and that's negativity and positivity, right? If I have a negative frame,
1,000,000%,
then I'm always going to see the negative in things. But if I come in and try and stay positive, I'm only going to look for the positive in things. There's going to be negative shit that happens, but my focus is going to be on the positive. And that's a big thing that people just need to understand, to shift. Like, if you want to shift your reality, don't blame someone else for your reality. Blame the way you're thinking about your reality. Because if you start changing the way you think about a situation,
1,000,000%,
then you'll start looking at the situation differently.
You take everyone out of the circumstance.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the solution circumstance.
Yeah. I mean, we get to choose our reality.
Correct.
By either the events we create or our reaction to the events.
Correct.
And it's your choice. And if you think your environment is negative, that's your perception of the environment. Like there's, cause I don't, do you believe there's objective negativity, or is it what you perceive to be negative? Because you could do something and I can do something, and some people could think that was awesome. They could think I'm an asshole. Same thing, we both do or say the same thing, but people will perceive it differently.
Certainly.
So it's the person's perception that creates the negative or positive environment, not the conduct of the people around them.
Another thing you don't learn until you're older.
No, you don't. You don't. I probably didn't learn that until my 40s, honestly. Like, you know, in your 30s, you still kind of want to blame everybody for everything. It's like
that and no one's thinking about you.
No one gives a
all
shit
those
about
things
you.
You're worried about that people are going to say or think or do.
No
one's thinking about you.
No one's.
And if I could have learned that as a teenager, my life would have been a lot better.
Hell yeah! I mean, but yeah, because every time you get up and speak in front of people, you're like, everybody's looking at me. Like, no one's even. And then you look back, I'm like, I was never even paying attention to who was speaking. Like, why did I think all these people were paying attention to me?
Yeah, we had the solution to the problem. We just
we couldn't see the solution. Yeah, exactly, man.
It's great, man. We'll do it again.
Definitely.
Next week.
Yep. See you next week.
We're out. That was excellent.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. It was definitely a good one.
Did you happen to peek in? Did you see the 4K version of what I produced for last week?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's like a little mini podcast.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I might as well just take. I mean, I'm putting.
Yeah, why fucking not, man?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not do it?
That's exactly right. Like, why not?